Very good morning, students. So, students, this is the next part of chapter, the rise of nationalism in Europe. As in the first part, we have discussed how the French Revolution and the outbreak of French Revolution in 1789 become the significant event to spread the feeling of nationalism in the rest of the part of the European state, including Germany, Italy, okay, Austria, Hungary. Now we are continuing that after the French Revolution and the people try to establish their own constitution, set of constitution. But again, in 1804, when Napoleon conquered some part of the France, now again the monarchy system has been established. So in this video, we are going to talk about the Napoleonic Code and the process and the things which the Napoleon once again established in France, and again the monarchy system was implemented by the invasion of the Napoleon Bonaparte. Okay, so when the news of events in France, students and when the news of the events spread in France, students and members of the educated middle class, important middle class, began to set up Jacobin clubs. As I have told you that Jacobin clubs, okay, Jacobin clubs became one of the most important tool and you can say the factor that these were the centers where the people, students and the middle class educated people joining, and time to time they are sharing their ideas to spread and to strengthen the feeling of nationalism in France. And in the series, when the France and the outbreak of France and the event of this incident spread the rest part of the Europe, how the other country, you can say, supported the same idea. They now the students and the middle class started to start their own Jacobin club in the particular areas of the France, or you can say the European state. Okay, as now the people wanted to just support this nationalism spirit, and they inspired that in their state also, in the rest part of the, you can say, European state, they can also develop the Jacobin clubs to share the feeling of nationalism among the other part of the European state. Now that activities of these members reached to the Holland, Belgium, Switzerland and Italy in 1790s. In 1789, the French Revolution was occurred, and after that, up to the 1790, the activities of all these members were involved, the students, the educated middle class, okay. These people in the rest part of the Europe also started their activity, okay, to support their ideas of nationalism like the French people, and they also spread the idea and the areas where the Jacobin clubs was used to be set up: Holland, Belgium, Switzerland and Italy. Now you can see that different parts of the European state, they started to think about and to discuss about all the, you can say, nationalism spirit in the rest part of the European state. So you know that middle class always play a very significant role to spread the feeling of, because they were the educated one. So now it was all there up to the 1790s. But again the challenge, when Napoleon conquered some part of the France, now in 1804, Napoleon became Emperor of France, okay, and he conquered some part of the France, and once again he established, you can say, re-established, okay, re-established the monarchy system in France. Destroy the democracy. When we are saying that monarchy system re-established in some part of the France, it means the democracy was once again eradicated, and you can say it was also eradicated and demolished from the France. Now when we say Napoleon, and we still remember Napoleon as a great administrator, that although there was a monarchy system in France which was continued by the Napoleon Bonaparte, but again as emperor he has done some remarkable achievement, some remarkable improvement, that after his defeat these systems were still in practice in the same or some part of the European state. Yes, and among them the first, in a combined way, These administrative changes was known as Napoleonic Code or Civil Code of 1804. It is very important in terms of the short note, as your question paper, especially for class 10th, this channel is belong to the class 10th. Okay, so Civil Code, or you can say Napoleonic Code of 1804, can be asked as a 3 marks question, and the content which all the you can say the terms which we are going to describe here and to try to understand, they can be asked to you as an objective question also. So see and watch it and try to learn it. Now, what is all about the Napoleonic Code or Civil Code of 1804? So what development? You can say that Napoleon Bonaparte has introduced some administrative development in France. The development, he had incorporated revolutionary principle in administration. Yes, his Napoleonic Code and the measure whatever the Napoleon Bonaparte has taken in the, you can say, Civil Code of 1804 or Napoleonic Code was known as revolutionary principles in administration in France as a, you can say, emperor. What were they? First of all, he has taken away, and it was a good sign, Napoleon has taken away all the privilege based on the birth. Yes, now either the son of a pope or a son of a peasant, all the privilege will not be given only the base of the accidental of birth, because he, according to him, to take birth is not in our hand. So it was so natural that why should we give so much of privilege and comforts and luxury only because the descendants belong to the royal family, or you can say royal family and elite class. So all the privilege was taken away from the French society on the basis of birth. It was a great, you can say, great attempt and great practice to stop the ill practices and to create some sort of equality in the society. So it was a good thing which was in the favor of country people. Okay. Second, under the Civil Code, Napoleon established equality before the law. He has come up with the standard reputation of law for the country people that everybody will be equal in front of law. It means even it is a monarchy system, even it will be a monarchy system, it was not a democratic way or democratic type of regime, but again the law is supreme according to him. Okay, and these things he has implemented in which Civil Code of 1804 or Napoleonic Code. Okay, yes. Third thing, secure the right of property. Third thing, he has invented and he has promoted that there will be secure the right to a property. The right to property law is secured. It means individual property will be shifted to his or her descendants, so there will be no objection. Okay, the property can be go one generation to another generation because it is their individual property. It can be in the form of land or any type of money, gold or silver, whatever, but the right to property act was implemented by him. And the fourth thing which he implemented, and it was again a great achievement, it was in the favor of peasants and farmers and businessmen. The fourth one, peasants were freed, very important, peasants were freed from feudal system, serfdom and manorial dues. Three things. Now under the rulership of Napoleon Bonaparte in France in 1804, the peasant and the farmers got freedom from all the feudal system. Okay, then serfdom, and third the manorial dues. Now I will explain what were these actually. Feudal system, as we know in class 9th, you had remember that the third estate people, the farmers has to pay 10% of their total production as the form of tax which come under the feudal system to their landlords. Okay, it was abolished. It was just stopped under the Napoleonic Code. Okay. Second thing, serfdom. Serfdom again, the labor, the agricultural labor who worked on the other piece of land, and then again their working hours were never limited. So that practice was also eradicated, stopped under the Napoleonic Code. Feudal system was stopped, eradicated. Second thing, serfdom again, because there the liberty, or you can say rights of the laborers were not saved. So he was also give the freedom to the peasant from the serfdom. And the last, manorial dues. Whatever dues was remain there as the agricultural labor used to do the agriculture in the landlords and the lords field, and then they have to give the production as a form of tax to their landlords or lords. So it was also stopped. Okay, it was also stopped. No manorial dues will remain there. These all things were in the favor of the common people, you can say the poor people, the labor class, the peasant and farmer. So we can see that Napoleonic Code was not that it was not a purely the administration of a monarch, but it was somehow in the favor of the common or the poor people also. As we can say that our privilege which was based on birth was taken away. So it was again a very appreciative attempt. Okay, and we imagine that freedom is only in democracy. Second thing, when peasants were freed from feudal system, manorial dues and the serfdom, then again it is a good practice, okay, which we used to see in the democratic country or democratic nation. Although it was not the democratic regime, he was emperor, there was a monarchy system, but still he has implemented some reform under the civil code of 1804 or Napoleonic Code. Okay, now the next thing, that the fifth point is guild restriction were removed, and it was in the favor of businessmen, that when they used to, or traders or the businessmen, when they used to enter in the particular territories, they have to face the guild restriction. Okay, they have to give their the particular taxes on their goods. So it was also removed. Now there were a liberty and leniency to favor, to support the tradespeople and the businessmen. Okay, that's why the business class were also happy with this Napoleonic Code. Peasants used to be happy. Okay, and the last but not the least, transport and communication system. To strengthen the France, okay, economically, Napoleon Bonaparte had developed the proper means of transportation and communication in hand. Okay, simultaneously he supported the transport system and the communication system, and the both are very essential factors or resources to facilitate the trade nationwide. Okay, next, under the civil code, what he has introduced, common national currency was started to use. He has started the common national currency, which is again, you can say, an appreciative attempt by the ruler, that it also stopped the corruption in the country, because the national currency was started to use in the France. So again, it was showing that he was really a good ruler who thinks for the development of the France, and that's why he has come up with this wonderful Napoleonic Code. And the last is uniform laws. Uniform laws for weight and measures introduced for businessmen, farmers and traders. Napoleonic Code had introduced a uniform laws of weight and measure. Okay, there was a particular law for the weighting the things or the production, okay, and to measure their, that how much they are in weight, and if they are 1 kg, so what will be the cost. Okay, so these all attempt he has come up under the Napoleonic Code. So these were the 8 points under the Napoleonic Code, student, and it is very important for a board students. It can be asked as a 3 marks question, the short answer, okay, which words limit is up to 80. It is used to 80, but it is again the matter of fact that what you are writing. Okay, so Napoleonic Code we have understood now. Okay, now that what type of question can be asked because the framing of question is very necessary, as I used to tell you that you have learned. Now what can we ask? The simple way, they can give you the short note. Write down a short note on Civil Code of 1804. You can write down these all points, okay? Or they can also ask you the same thing. Write a short note on Napoleonic Code of 1804. So you know what is measure has been taken under the Civil Code or Napoleonic Code. Or they can ask you the various MCQs, whatever laws and measure had been taken by the Napoleon Bonaparte. As for example, we can understand it. Napoleonic Code taken away which of the privilege in France? I am repeating. Napoleonic Code taken away which of the following privilege in France? Your options are: option A, privileges based on the educational background; B, privileges based on the economic background; option C, privileges based on the caste; or last, privileges based on the religion. So you know, the very first we have given the first practices under the Napoleonic Code, that all the privilege had been taken away under the Napoleonic Code on the basis of birth. So your E point, privileges based on the birth. Okay, option E will be correct. Okay, so these are the practice to frame the question after a particular content or the topic, which as a student you have to try by your own, so that you will be prepared not only for NCERT question, but whatever you are studying, you will be prepared that the framing of question will be in your practice, and how much you practice the framing of the question, new question, then you will be updated your own knowledge and skill. So students, of this video we have explained it. I will come to you next video. I will continue the same chapter, the rise of nationalism in Europe, with the further subheadings. Till then, take care, goodbye, and God bless you.